The San Antonio Spurs defeated the Philadelphia 76ers 131 to 91. This game was close for one quarter, I have to say, but it didn't last. The Spurs won the first quarter 32 to 25, and afterwards they proceeded to just curb stomp the Sixers. It was just like no contest. By the time the second quarter was over, the score was 78 to 53. You knew this game was over, and there was just like no chance of the Sixers coming back. What really did the Sixers in this game was not only the injuries they've suffered this season to Joel Embiid and the suspension to Paul George, but it also had to do with the Spurs' great defense. They locked down the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey had a poor shooting night, 8 of 19 from the field, 21 points, and the rest of the Sixers just couldn't get it together. VJ Edgecombe, 2 for 9, only 6 points. The Spurs defense just locked them up, put them in jail, as I would say. And the Spurs' three-point shooting was out of this world in this game. 18 of 45 from the field, which is overall 40% for the game, shooting from three. They had great ball movement. Everybody was moving around. It seemed like this game was kind of like a redemption game for losing the Knicks game. I know the Spurs were frustrated about losing the Knicks game from what I've heard. And judging by what they said in this game afterwards, Victor and Stephon Castle expressing how they were disappointed in not winning that last game at the Garden. And this game was kind of like a makeup game for that. So that's always great to see that teams bounce back like the Spurs did after losing a game to, I would say, losing a disappointing game in which you want to win, that you don't hold your head down and you just focus on the next game and you come out strong like that. That's usually what championship teams do after a difficult loss during regular season. They put it behind them and just destroy whoever is next. And the Spurs did that in this game. I do have to say, I did enjoy how this game was like a retro throwback NBC game, that they brought back the old school NBC graphics from the 90s. And I have to say, guys, you got to do this more often. Bring back those old graphics like every game. I loved seeing the old 90s NBC graphics. It was just great to see it, just like the stats, the way they showed it out, the way they even show the player graphics, like the pictures of Victor and Tyrese Maxey, side-by-side comparisons. Bring all that back. I felt like tonight felt like it was like an NBC game from the 90s. Not the score, obviously, but it just felt like it, just due to the graphics and also having the old crew back and seeing Bob Costas, Doug Collins, the Czar, Mike Fratello, that it was awesome. And then Jim Gray was back for like the sideline interviews. You also had Hannah Storm, PJ Carlissimo, and Isaiah Thomas. Granted, a few people were missing who are no longer around, and Steve Snapper Jones and Bill Walton. I would say it would have been cool if they could brought back Dr. J, but it was good to see pretty much most of the 90s NBC crew back and reminiscing. That brought a lot of nostalgia back from my childhood, I had to say. So that was really cool. I did enjoy that part about this game. And then at the end of the game, Jim Gray interviewed Victor Wembanyama, and Victor said this quote unquote to Jim Gray in the interview. I'm going to read what he exactly said. He said, "Best team in the world." And I think Jim Gray asked a question, and he just basically said, "Yeah, we are the best," after Jim wanted to verify what he said. That's what I recall. I could be wrong, but I know for sure he said best team in the world when Jim Gray interviewed him. So that's a lot of confidence by Victor. Victor has always been brash about his declarations, and now he just put it out there for everyone to hear that he believes the Spurs are the best team in the world. Now, I would still say it's OKC since they're defending champs. They are number one right now, but Spurs are definitely not afraid of them. 4-1 during the regular season. Granted, I know I know people won't count that fourth win since OKC was resting their whole entire team, but still, overall, when at full strength, the Spurs are 3-1 against OKC for the whole entire year. So I get that confidence. Now you just got to back it up. He's definitely put a target on the Spurs back, but I guess they don't care. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how they handle this during the playoffs, what happens. But I guess it's better to be confident than to not be confident. That's the only thing I can say about that. I know Bob Costas and not Bob Costas. I know Hannah Storm, PJ Colissimo, and Isaiah Thomas followed up that that statement by asking Stephon Castle after the game, does he feel the same way? And Stephon Castle said he did agree with it. So these guys are putting it out there that they believe they're the best and that they can win it all. And we'll see. That's all I have to say about that. I don't have anything else. But what happens in the playoffs will be very, very interesting. If they can back it up, then that becomes a legendary declaration. If they don't back it up, well, we'll see how people criticize Victor specifically about that. But yeah, that's about it.